I have stopped watching TV about 5 years ago. And that was mainly for 2 reasons. The first one is to have more time for things that are actually important to me. And the second is to protect my mind against violent scenes and also some types of behavior. Because especially when told through a story and then also the visuals that you have, you know, when you watch movies or TV shows, it's basically like opening up your brain and putting in garbage because our brain is so receptive of stories and also of images, of pictures. But there was something else I noticed after I stopped. Because TV shows and movies were really messing up my money mindset. And that is a bad thing. Because a bad money mindset prevents us from building wealth. And that's why I want to share 3 aspects of how TV shows and movies hurt your money mindset. I'm Sophia. I love to talk about money in a positive way, and also about how to build wealth and how we think about money is a very important part of that. And the first aspect is that rich people are the villains. I noticed that especially in comic book adaptations, like for example Superman. He himself grew up in a rather like poor farmhouse family, and then he later becomes the superhero. And his best friend, Lex Luthor, who later becomes his enemy, is the son of a millionaire or a billionaire. And I don't know if you remember this, but when I was still watching TV, many years ago, I used to watch Smallville, which was a series about the origin of Superman. And I remember that Clark Kent and his family and where he grew up was always displayed in a very warm light. And it was also a very loving environment. And then when they showed Lex Luthor and his father, often they displayed those scenes in a very blue and coldish light. And they also emphasized the lovelessness of them. And similar as Spider-Man. He himself a bit of an underdog, a nerdy kid and an orphan. And his best friend, again, son of a millionaire. And then first the father of his best friend becomes the villain. And then later he himself follows in his footsteps and also becomes the villain. And the image that is planted in our head is that rich people are the villains or become the villains. Okay, now in some cases the rich person also becomes the superhero. And who comes to my mind, because I really watched all of those in my early days, is Batman and Green Arrow. But even there, it's embedded in a negative context. Because Batman's parents get killed because of their wealth in front of him when he is just a kid. And Oliver Queen, aka Green Arrow, also starts out as the selfish millionaire or billionaire kid. And then he only changes when he gets stranded alone on an island. I don't know, you guys. I don't like it. And this aspect of selfish actually brings me to the next point, which is number 2. Rich people have major character flaws in TV shows and movies. So it's not just in science fiction, it's also in the like real life stories or shows. Rich people are displayed as selfish, often cheating, lying, manipulating, greedy, oh, very greedy, and also without any morality. I mean, just look at soap operas like Gossip Girl. Even though I love the scenery in New York and the fashion, which really is the only reason I watched this. I mean, all the lying and the scheming and the humiliating others, it's insane. When I look back, I don't think there was like one character who is actually good. And the same goes for other series like Dynasty or Succession. The message this sends to us is that all rich people have totally dysfunctional family dynamics. And this goes for movies as well. I remember I rewatched Wall Street a couple of years ago because it's a movie about money. And to be honest, I was shocked. And I also think that this movie has done a lot of damage to the image of how the financial world and the people working in it are perceived by the rest of the world. Same goes for Wolf of Wall Street. It's one of the first movies that pops up when you look for money movies, but I didn't actually finish this one. I think I switched it off after, I don't know, 20 or 30 minutes. And one of the few money movies I actually loved and also keep rewatching sometimes is The Big Short, because you can also learn something from this movie. Now, the worst thing what this does to us is that it subtly forms the way we think about money. Let me give you some examples and then see what your reaction is. If I build wealth, I will only be loved for the money and not for myself. When I build wealth, I will get taken for granted. When I become rich, I will also become a lazy and useless bully. Or maybe even just lazy and useless. because then I will not have motivation anymore to work. If I build wealth, then my kids will get spoiled. Now tell me, did any of these resonate just a little bit? If they did, then ask yourself where this is coming from. Because I can guarantee you, they are not serving us. They are not serving you. And number 3 is money corrupts. Because in movies and TV shows, very often money equals power. And then on their way to money and to power, people get corrupted. And it's not just that. Oftentimes, the normal people, or then in the movie, the poor people, they become the victims of the rich. They get blackmailed into doing things, or they get played in other ways, or they get caught in the crossfire. And that's a very dangerous thinking pattern. Because first it can actually encourage people without money to feel like a victim. And then when they feel like the victim and they blame others for their situation, then this becomes the very reason they stay where they are. Because a victim mentality keeps us from taking responsibility and from taking action. And then the second thing is that it can keep them from wanting to build wealth because they think all rich people are bullies and are bad people, and who wants to be a bully or a bad person or lose their morality. So either the characters commit crimes to get money, or the people that are already rich are doing things that are illegal. And all of those 3 aspects and their little nuances, they paint such a bad picture of money and of rich people in our mind. Now, when you look at 100 rich families, will there be at least one that has dysfunctional family dynamics? Well, probably yes, just because of statistics. But at least they will probably not fight about money, hopefully. Now, when you look at 100 not rich families, will you find at least one with dysfunctional family dynamics? Of course you will. Again, statistics. And I mean, money itself cannot fix, for example, how we communicate with our family members or with our friends or with our co-workers. But oftentimes money can buy for the education in fields like that. Money is not responsible for our inner work. We are. And for the inner work, money definitely can help. That's the way I see it. Just because with money you have access to resources that you not necessarily have without money. Also, if money is the number 1 source of stress in your life, then you don't have much capacity for all the other important things. And I don't know about you, but I think it would be sad when, just because it has become so normal for people to watch a lot of TV or streaming services or videos or whatever the source, influences this part of our life, our money, which just is an important part of our life, in a negative way. Now you know how I look at this, with what perspective or through what glasses. Would be curious to hear. Next time you watch your favorite show or your favorite movie and you discover negative patterns when it comes to money, or also positive ones, let me know in the comments. If you want to hear the whole story of why I stopped watching TV, I'll link the video here. Thank you for watching. Hope you got some inspiration, and until next time. Bye-bye.